This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on cabinet decisions. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist.
Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved a few proposals in its meeting held on Tuesday. Prominent among them are the proposal to release certain category of prisoners incarcerated in jails as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav initiative of the central government, and also the extension of applicability of the new investment policy 2012 for 3 upcoming units of Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited, that is HURL, at Gorakhpur, Sindri and Baroni. The cabinet has also approved increase in the minimum support price of raw jute by 250 rupees to 4,750 rupees per quintal for the 2022 and 23 season, besides approving introduction of a bill to merge 3 municipal corporations of Delhi. Before we discuss the unification of 3 civic bodies into one, let us briefly talk about the other key decisions of raising MSP for jute, extension of new investment policy and release of the prisoners from jails. Sir, how do you see this decision, especially to raise the MSP of raw jute?
You are very right. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by the Prime Minister, has approved the minimum support price for raw jute for 22-23. But this approval is based on the recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. Now, under this decision, the new MSP for raw jute, which is TDN 3 grade or equivalent to TD 5 grade, now has been fixed at rupees 4,750 per quintal for the year 22-23. This will have an increase of rupees 250 over the previous year. Now, this would ensure a return of 60.53% over all India weighted average cost of production. This is very significant. And the announcement of MSP of raw jute for 2023 season is in line with the principle of fixing the MSP at a level of at least 1.5 times all India weighted average cost of production as announced by the Government of India in the budget 2018-2019. So, therefore, this decision of the Cabinet will ensure a minimum of 50% as margin of profit for the growers. It is one of the important and progressive steps toward ensuring that remunerative returns to the jute growers and to incentivize quality jute fiber. The Jute Corporation of India will continue as central government nodal agency to undertake price support operations, and the losses incurred, if any, in such operations will be fully reimbursed by the central government. This is a very significant decision, I must say, as far as the agriculture sector is concerned, and particularly the jute growers are concerned.
Right, sir. It is indeed a very significant and an important decision that has been taken by the Union Cabinet, and as you rightly pointed out, it will help jute growers to get better remunerative returns. Another important decision that was taken is release of certain category of prisoners who are in jails. These prisoners would be released as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav initiative of the central government. The identified prisoners will be released on this Independence Day, the next Republic Day, and on the next Independence Day as well, that is August 15 next year as well. Sir, can you also explain the importance of approving applicability of the new investment policy 2012 for 3 upcoming units of Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited at Gorakhpur, Sindri and Baroni? How it is important?
Before that, I would just add that the Parliamentary Standing Committee for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has recommended, and this is again in line with the social welfare schemes of the Modi government, that in the subsidy component for the Ujjwala Yojana beneficiaries under the Prime Minister Ujjwala Yojana, the subsidy component should be extended to a minimum of 4 LPG cylinders per annum to all the beneficiaries of the Ujjwala Yojana. Now, the Standing Committee felt that the decision, if taken, will reduce the burden upon poorer sections of the society, and the report was tabled by the committee in the Parliament. Well, that was just a passing reference Now, the decision of the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, the approval has been granted to the proposal by the Department of Fertilizers for extension of applicability of new investment policy 2012 for the 3 units of Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited, that is in Gorakhpur, Sindri and Barauni. But this HURL, it was incorporated on the 15th of June 2016 and it's a joint venture company by Coal India Limited, NTPC and Indian Oil Corporation. So HURL is reviving the erstwhile Gorakhpur and Sindri units of Fertilizer Corporation of India and Barauni unit of the GFCL by setting up new gas-based urea plants with the installed capacity of 12.7 lakh metric tons per annum. So the cost of 3 urea projects is rupees 25,120 crore. GAIL is supplying natural gas to these 3 units of the HURL. The state-of-the-art based this Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited plants are a part of the initiative taken by the Modi government to revive the closed urea units in order to achieve self-sufficiency in urea sector as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat policy. So the commissioning of 3 units will add 38.1 LMTPA indigenous urea production in the country and help to realize the vision of Prime Minister Modi to make India Atmanirbhar in urea production. The project will not only improve the availability of fertilizer to farmers, but will also give a boost to the economy in the region, including development of infrastructure like road, railways, ancillary industry, besides ensuring food security to the nation. This is another landmark decision as far as helping the agriculture sector is concerned.
Let us now talk on the move to unify 3 civic bodies of Delhi into one. The erstwhile Municipal Corporation of Delhi was trifurcated into 3 municipal corporations, that is South Delhi Municipal Corporation, that is SDMC, North Delhi Municipal Corporation, that is NDMC, and East Delhi Municipal Corporation, that is EDMC in 2011. Now its introduction in Parliament has been approved by the Union Cabinet. What are the implications of this decision for the people of Delhi?
The trifurcation was done under the UPA government when Sheila Dikshit was the Chief Minister of Delhi, and her idea was that it may lead to decentralization of power in the civic body of the capital. But unfortunately, it has not worked. In fact, the establishment cost of 3 corporations was creating financial constraints for the 3 civic bodies. And it was felt that the financial difficulties are now becoming a big hindrance in the smooth functioning of the 3 municipal bodies, as well as causing a lot of hardship to the people also, plus the economic situation, the financial situation of the 3 bodies was not very impressive. Now, when the central government has taken this decision, and before that, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, he held several rounds of meetings and consultations with the officials of the Home Ministry and officials of the civic bodies as well as representatives of the political parties in Delhi also. Now, it was after due consultation that the cabinet yesterday took the decision to re-merge the 3 civic bodies in Delhi. And it's not going to be so smooth because all the 3 civic bodies are in deep debt. And therefore, if we go by some sources in the Ministry of Home Affairs, that at least 2,000 crore rupees Home Ministry will have to disburse to the unified civic body to begin the process of the corporation ridding itself of its financial liability. So many financial liabilities, even salaries have not been paid. There is a lot of administrative problems, and therefore this unification of 3 municipal corporations, it will not only result into smooth functioning, but will also lead to a very strong and financially viable municipal body like we have in Mumbai and certain other areas. So in that context, I think the control of the unified civic body major contours of details of this bill will be known only when the bill is tabled in the current session of Parliament, and especially what is going to be the composition in terms of this legislature and the executive. And there is a feeling that unification or unified MCD will be run on the pattern of the New Delhi Municipal Council, which is another civic body, Delhi, New Delhi area, and it may also include eminent professionals, the citizens, and the welfare of the local people. I think the difficult situation was one of the major contributing factors which literally went in favor of the cabinet decision re-merging the three civic bodies.
The polls for the 272 wards of the three civic bodies are due in April, that is next month. Now, after this decision was announced, there have been series of allegations, counter-allegations, voices of support, then voices of opposition from different political parties. There are indications from the union government, as you also pointed out, that the Unified Municipal Corporation will be a well-equipped entity for optimum and even utilization of financial resources, which will reduce mounting liabilities of the civic bodies. And people also say that the trifurcation of the corporation was uneven earlier in terms of the territorial divisions and revenue generating potential of each corporation. And as a result, which you also pointed out, there was a huge gap in the resources available to the three corporations, which led to huge debt. But for the people of Delhi, should they consider it as a good news, or they should not be bothered about this at all?
In the larger interest of the people of Delhi, because the idea behind trifurcation was that it will result in decentralization of power, and services of the civic bodies will be at the doorstep of the people of Delhi. But it has not resulted in that kind of facility. And problem was because the three civic bodies were loggerheads with the Kejriwal government in Delhi, because the Delhi government was not releasing funds to the civic bodies which were due to them. And if we go by the data available, that the East Delhi Municipal Corporation had contracted the liabilities to the tune of 116.87 crore, while the North and South municipal bodies, they were having liabilities to the tune of 770 crore and 408 crore respectively. These details were when sent to the Home Ministry. These included the arrears in salary payment, pension of the employees, and often we have seen the employees of these three civic bodies coming on the road protesting against not salary being paid and so many problems. So I think the idea behind trifurcation has been defeated. And so therefore people of Delhi will not mind if the civic body is reunified under one umbrella. And therefore even the United Municipal Corporation of Delhi had its zonal offices in each and every corner of the city. And people were going to those zonal offices for all the facilities and whatever the job they wanted to do. So therefore I think unification will largely help the employees of these three municipal bodies. Their pension, their salary will be paid on time, and we will see less of strikes by the employees, whether they are Safai Karamchari or whether they are lower level employees. I think it is a welcome move.
Sir, how big will this task of unification be for the union government? Will this be a smooth task, or do you feel that they are going to face some hurdle?
So it will be easier, much easier for the Union Home Ministry, which is the apex body and which takes care of the functioning of Delhi and all its municipal bodies, including Delhi government, as Delhi is a union territory. So there will be less multiplicity of authority, and Home Ministry will also be in a better position to deal with the welfare schemes of Delhi, and LG also will feel relieved now. And therefore I think schemes of the central government, all the benefits which the central government schemes have been giving to poor section of the society will now reach the poor people very smoothly, effectively, and without red tape.
Thank you so much for talking to us, sir, and explaining the nuances of cabinet decision. It was really wonderful listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on cabinet decisions. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on a mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.